Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Tessa, and in this video, I am going to be sharing more of my sales data from Zazzle with you. So this is a little bit of a spin-off video from one of my last videos where I shared some graphs of my product listings monthly sales over the last few years. And there was a question in that video asking about how many listings do I have versus how many sales I make or something along those lines. So I decided to actually make a whole video about it. So let's dive into the data. I made a little chart here and we're gonna go shop by shop and then look at how many listings I have versus how many sales I'm making. And then I'll give you a little rundown of each shop as well. So this is my first shop. It's my very first shop that I started for Zazzle. I started it in April of 2019. And as you can see, so first of all, just as a little disclaimer, for the product listings, I'm not counting anything that was created in the last 6 months as it hasn't had enough time to kind of age properly in the algorithm. So that's why this is like products that are 6 months or older. So in my very first shop, I have 4,500 products that are at least 6 months old. And of those 4,500 products, 650 listings have sold at least once, and that is 14% of the listings. Now, this is a little extra bit of information. I wasn't sure whether to include it or not, but I said, why not? I actually have 961 of those listings that are hidden. And they're not hidden because I did that. It's because they didn't get views for a period of, I think it's 15 months. I can't remember exactly. And if your products don't get viewed within a 15-month period, Zazzle will hide them from the marketplace and mark them as needs optimization. So then you need to go in, change up something with the listing, view it, and then mark it as public again. So I just thought that that was an interesting little statistic as well. 21% of these 4,500 products are hidden from the marketplace. So that's a pretty significant amount. And then in this graph here, I have the percentage of how many products sold once. You can see the purple here is 41% of this 650 products sold one time, and then 43.7% sold 2 to 10 times. And then there's other percentages here, which are a little bit harder to see. So you can see I have like 3 products that sold over 1,000 times and 7 products that sold up to 100 times, 12 products that sold 100 to 1,000 times, 24 products that sold 26 to 50 times, and 50 products that sold 11 to 25 times. So that is shop number 1. That was definitely, I view this shop as pure learning. I had no idea what I was doing. I actually haven't really uploaded to it in at least 2 years, possibly longer. This shop was really just me playing around, figuring Zazzle out. There's no niche to it. It was just random products with random designs and me just throwing things up. So that is shop number 1. Let's go to the next shop. Shop number 2, I started in 2020, and this is a shop that I actually only spent about a month on, and then I got 976 products up, as you can see here, 976. 211 product listings have sold, which is 22%, and there's only 48 products from this 976 that are hidden. But what I was going to say was this shop is very niche down. It has one niche and it's very focused. It has a very focused product type selection, and the sales do pretty well. It doesn't have a ton of products, so it doesn't actually make a ton of sales, but it does make sales consistently. I think that this shop kind of shows the power of a niche down shop. This shop at this point is 100% passive. As I said, I put a month into it over December 2020 through to January 2021, and I haven't uploaded anything to it since. So this is a great little passive shop for me. And as you can see, again, 46 or almost 47% of the products sold have sold at least once or at least twice, up to 10 times, and then almost 50%. So it's pretty 50-50, and that is a theme across all my shops. So this is shop number 3, and as you can see, I started the same month as shop number 2. And this one is, again, another niche down shop. And I know that I put a decent amount of work into it for a couple of months and then didn't do too much with it. sales started generating, and then I put a couple more designs into it, but not a lot. So as you can see, I actually only have 562 designs that are more than 6 months old, or listings, I should say. And 79 of those product listings have sold. So that's 14%. This shop is great because it makes a lot of bulk sales, which is amazing. So I've actually put quite a bit more work into it in the last couple of months, and I'm curious to see how that's going to do over the next year or two. Because I found actually with both of these two shops, number 2 and number 3, the sales have actually grown year over year. And then as you can see in the pie chart here, that most of the sales that I have, or most of the listings, sell 2 to 10 times, followed closely by just one single sale. And then 10% of the listings sell 11 to 25 times. Now let's look at shop number 4. This shop is less niche down and it has a ton of product listings in it. I started it in January of 2021. And because it's less niche down, I found looking back at it that my listings aren't as good in terms of titles and tags and all of that. So I actually have 572 products that are hidden from the marketplace. So that's about a quarter of the products that have been hidden from the marketplace because they didn't get views. And I was looking back at them earlier this week, and yeah, my titles and tags are all off. Like, they're really bad. So I have to go back and fix all of those. But hey, that's a learning experience. I feel like I was still fairly new in 2021. The stats on this shop are not as good. 162 listings have sold for a total of 7% of my whole entire shop catalog. Not great. But this shop actually is my money-making shop because the products that do sell often sell more than once and they have higher commissions. So there's kind of a trade-off there. I've definitely noticed with this shop as well that my older products don't do as well, but the ones that I've created in the last 2 years are doing way better. Okay, shop number 5. Now, this shop is also another generic shop, and I've actually abandoned it. I started it in September of 2021, and I don't really know why I started this shop, but it's super generic. As you can see, it has almost 3,700 products in it, product listings, and only 98 have made sales. So that is not good. And I know that I put a lot of work into this for about 3 months, and I haven't really done much with it since then. So I guess I just had a backlog of designs and decided to get them up. There's no real niche to this shop. I clearly didn't learn my lesson with my first shop. I don't know why I tried to do another generic shop, but that's what I did. And the proof is in the pudding. You can see that it hasn't performed particularly well. 3% of the product listings have made sales. So that's pretty pathetic, but it is what it is. Again, as you can see, more than a third of the listings have been hidden from the marketplace. So I think that there is 2 issues with this shop. I haven't looked at my hidden products, but I suspect that my tagging isn't very good. I think also that the products just aren't that marketable. Like the designs, I just don't think people really want them. So that was just kind of an error on my part, but every shop is a learning experience and you get better as you keep going. Okay, so let's look at our last shop. And this one I started in December of 2021. And I didn't spend very long on this shop. As you can see, I only have 122 listings that are over 6 months old, and actually only 11 of them have sold, which is 9%, so it's actually not terrible. But I have not put any effort back into this shop since I started. It was a photography shop. I went on a road trip with a friend in September of 2021, and this shop has all my pictures and stuff like that in it. And yeah, they're very niche photos, I will say that. And they've made sales, but not very much. So I think if I did more, they might sell more, but I haven't put anything into this shop in quite a while. So if you notice, there's quite a few of my shops that I haven't really put that much effort into in recent years. but I still make sales from them. So I think that is kind of an important thing to note. You can see here, this shop has not made a lot of sales at all. Okay, so let's now look at the amalgamation of all of these shops. So in total, I have about 12,000 products and about 1,200 have made sales. So that is a percentage of 11%. And of that 1,200, there's almost 12,000, there's almost 3,000 that are hidden from the marketplace. So that's a quarter of my listings, which is not great. And then you can see in the graph that it's pretty similar, like across all the shops, that it's in the 40% range, anywhere from 40 to 41% is of products have sold once or 2 to 10 times. And then I find here it's about 10% that have sold more than 10 times in the marketplace. So what does this data tell me? Well, I clearly need to go back and look at a couple of my shops at the hidden products and fix my titles and tags. I know a lot of them I won't be making that effort, but the one shop that I will be making that effort for is number 4, where I have 500 product lists or almost 600 product listings, because those designs are pretty good. They just need to have their titles and tags and descriptions fixed. The other thing that I think stands out in these breakdowns is that I have a couple of generic shops and they don't do as well as my niche down shops. So I'm actually excited about that because I have taken action on that in recent months. I've created 4 new shops since I think October, and I'm curious to see how those are going to perform. They're all more niche down than these generic ones. So I'm excited to see those results. I think the overall consensus from my experience, I can't tell you how your experience is going to be. Everybody's is going to be different. But from my data, from what my data says, I think you can expect a percentage of like 10 up to 20% of your products are going to sell. And then from that, like of that 10 to 20%, only 10% of those are going to make consistent sales. That being said, this is a long-term business, and these products, some of these products that haven't sold yet, have the opportunity to sell for years to come. So it's kind of hard to take this data and come to any conclusions from it because it's constantly changing and I'm making sales every day. So this data changes every single day. But this is just a snapshot of where my shops are at right now. And I'm excited to share maybe in like a year or something like that where my newer shops are at and where these shops are at. If I'm able to get these percentages up, I think that I could get shop number 4. I think I could get this percentage of products sold up by fixing my metadata on my product listings. I think that I could definitely get those sales up. And then also this shop I think is kind of not garbage or trash, but like I don't really think it's worth spending any time in. I think the same for this shop, my first shop. I probably won't do much on this one. It's really just these 3. Although this one's pretty passive, I don't know how much time I want to actually spend on it, but these 2 shops I do actively work on. So I'm curious to see if I can get this 7% up to 15%. I'm pretty happy with 14%. That's not bad, but I definitely am not happy with under 10%. So that's something for me to work towards, and I'll be updating you guys maybe in a year. I'm not sure how often I should be looking at this kind of thing. Anyways, if you guys found this helpful, if you are curious about any other metrics, then let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, please give the video a like and be sure to subscribe for more Zazzle tips. Bye.